lately I've been feeling very clear. And I think you can have clarity of mind, but then to follow suit with the action behind it and to be convicted in that and solid, grounded in that. It's two different, things to develop within yourself. I think one part is meditating, getting, focused, understanding what that focus is and your intention behind it. But then after you have that, then it's following that with the execution, which is a whole other beast, because you have that focus and that intention, but then you also have all of your distractions and emotions and just life things, human things, that they commingle. They're communicating back and forth all the time, simultaneously. So the feeling of being grounded in like the clarity of focus and then action is what I've been feeling a lot more rooted in. Whereas before, and I say before in the context of like this like psychological transmutation that I've been going through, that we've been going through collectively. But like past patterning, I would have an intention and a focus, but then be so easily distracted by other things, by really what I thought was needed of me. Which I think is necessary to think about and to take into consideration and to acknowledge, but not when it clouds and molds and hinders your own intentions, your own focus, your own impulse, your own intuition. If the focus is always how to fulfill your time and your energy externally, then you don't then yours ends up getting buried, not acknowledged, not even aware of sometimes. So for me, I've been for years now developing the habit of meditating with myself, getting clear with myself, getting clear with my own intuitive, innate intention and impulse. And allowing for that to be expressed with conviction. Because I think when you have the focus externally of like pleasing the environment around you, then if that's like your main focus, then your action is filtered through that. So for me to, meditate, to have a clear intention or be very clear on what my focus and intention is, I've also had to develop the habit of executing that, even especially if it comes into conflict with what I've thought, that people-pleasing tendency, because inevitably that's going to happen. When you're in that mentality of just pleasing everyone and everything around you, then that's all you see. So if you were to do something just for the sole reason, purpose of it being your intuitive impulse, then sometimes it's going to feel like that's not okay, because it goes against what you think you need to be for other people 100% of the time. It's honestly, you have to process through this feeling of like guilt and fear that you're going to be rejected and that you're not going to be loved, so it's really just a fear. It's a protective mechanism of this people pleasing habit, and always fixating on how you can be approved of and loved. You're always going to fixate on that all the time, instead of trying to hone in on how you can create that foundation within yourself. Because yes, we do need to receive love and acknowledgement and admiration and that connection with other humans. It fills us. We need it. But if we're always reaching outside and there's no real nourished roots within, just that grounded, clear, convicted expression, being. If you're always needing that from outside of yourself, then it's futile. It's a vicious cycle. It'll always keep feeding itself of you never being enough. Because the roots within you are malnourished. They're suffering. They're not getting the time and care and attention that they need, because all the attention is going outside. So what I've been feeling lately is that my roots are very nourished now. I feel that grounding, because it's something I've cultivated for a long time now. That conviction within myself is very important to me. And to also learn that I will still be loved even if I choose myself, even if I choose my own intuition, my own choice, my own desire, that I will still be loved by those that I need to be loved by. And if it's not reciprocated, then I don't need to be loved by them, or I don't need to be desperate for to acquire that from wherever it's not coming from naturally. I've allowed myself permission to live and choose based off of my own just my own. And I'm still aware of how I can be of service and be needed. I want to be needed. I want to give my love. I want to receive love from people, from my environment. I want that co-creation, that co-existence in love. But first, I needed to understand how to also feel that within myself, and to feel that just pure joy again, like you feel when you're a kid, and you're not thinking about your identity when you're a kid. You're not thinking about how you're coming across or how you're going to be perceived, or there's an age where you hit that and it switches in your mind and you start to internalize. But the time when that wasn't even a thought in your mind, and you just were however that expressed itself, you just were. And not to say you don't need discernment in the way that we have to move through the world, but as far as like listening to yourself and just allowing yourself to play and be that, and not be so fearful of that, that's, I think, very important to rediscover, because really it's encouraged out of us. We just, through life experience, become so protective of ourselves. And even if we didn't experience something, traumatic or painful, like even just witnessing, we become very scared, understandably. So we all live in shells of, I think, what we would really want to live and feel like. It's scary to step outside of like these behaviors and habits that have made us feel safe since that switch that happened when we were a kid. Yeah. For the lucky few, there's probably some that have always held on to their own. There is some that have always held on to their own, innate expression. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to document the feeling I have, because sometimes I don't feel like this. Sometimes, I go in and out of waves of questioning myself and doubting and not allowing myself to fully step into what it is that I know I can. Baby steps, but I go in and out of waves of feeling this like rooted, playful, joyful conviction and just clarity to that fear that I'm not enough, that I won't be enough, that I can't hold it. Scared, hiding. But that's okay. I guess I'm just very grateful and at peace, at ease, knowing that, just feeling what I've cultivated within myself and within how I can feel in the world. Because the world used to feel like a very overwhelming, overstimulating, anxiety inducing place. I would feel people so intensely my whole life, even if I wasn't directly, in relation to them or communication to them. I feel like I internalized the world all the time as a whole. I would literally sit in my room and cry as a child, cry my eyes out because of the pain of the world. Like, come on. Wow. I literally carried the weight of the world on my shoulders. But, lately I've been feeling not that, because it's not my monkeys, it's not my circus. I keep hearing that over and over again, and, it's very true. It's not mine. I have my own little circus and monkeys to take care of, like this monkey that found some shit to eat. Hey, what are you eating? You probably shouldn't be eating that. Go. Covered in leaves. Lately I've been feeling more like Luna. She's just always playful and free, and she's unbothered. Like, there can be all this stuff going on around her, and sometimes she'll want to run and not be near whatever it is, especially if it's like loud noises or being confined. She's usually just like, all right, whatever, I'm here. And I really have learned a lot from her in that way, of just, Luna, come here, come, that's enough, no more eating that, come, hey, thank you, come on. I don't know what I was saying. Oh, Luna, she's just my little free bird. And she's very curious, and she likes to get into things. She just wants to know. Like, she just wants to see. She wants to say hi. She wants to see what they smell like, see what this smells like, see what's over there, see what's in here. I can relate. I feel like her and I's spirits resonate with each other, reflect each other. But she doesn't get stressed, That's what I love so much about just observing her, is her, peaceful demeanor and non-reactivity. Hey, Jake, come here. Now you're gonna eat it. Come on, come. Out, go. 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 Come. Let's go for a walk, come on. We've had enough time in the garden. This is the healing garden. Right by my studio. It's in honor of, Luna, come here. It's in honor of all of the victims that died in the Route 91 festival here. It's like a country festival, and there was a man that needed some love, and he killed many people, and yes, this garden is in honor of them, and it's very beautiful and peaceful and serene in there. They did a really beautiful job. I actually might paint something for the inside, which I'm excited about. I feel like there's like a cloud that's lifting off of me. Something that has kind of held me down for a long time. And the cloud really weighs down my ability to that execution that I was talking about, the action that follows behind the intention and the focus. it clouds it, it weighs it down, it like becomes this like, and you know, I think when you're in that, it's hard to feel the energy and the flow of that execution. Hello. But lately, yeah, I haven't been feeling the cloud as much. It's still there. But I'm also understanding how I can like perpetuate that, how I can live in the cloud and kind of, you know, oddly find safety and comfort in the cloud. The cloud doesn't really serve me though. Sometimes, you know, you gotta just be in it. Understand that side of yourself. Give it space. But be cognizant of how we're also feeding into it. And yeah, whether or not those habits that feed into it are of your best interest, even if they're comfortable, and have a feeling of safety. Like, you gotta be honest with yourself. At least, you know, for me, that's something that's very important, is to just always be in this state of self-reflection, because I truly want to utilize, it's important to me every single day that I am here, that I have this body, to use that time wisely and with intention. And you know, sometimes that intention is just to play and be joyful, and that's fine. Sometimes it's focused on, you know, what you're building and what you're creating and how that serves around you. All of it, you know, serves if it's with good intention. If it's with intention of momentum and like helping to connect, helping to unite. Yeah. Every time I see this, I want to do this to my studio. I'm gonna do something like that, but I want to make the flowers. I think I'm gonna buy some just to fill the space, fill it more. But I would like to make them. I've seen some things online using like plastic, so I think I'm gonna try something like that. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for helping me process and understand myself more, feel lighter. I think to be light, to feel light, is an intention. It's a willingness to really be with yourself in all forms, in all facets, and just be with that. Allow it, sit with it, give it love, give it space, give it breath. The more that we like fight ourselves and like try to avoid and try to push, and you know, it's not that it's easy, but the more that we're like resisting it, the more that it, like, for me, feels like it just festers and grows and just lingers there and is like that cloud.
Yeah, not because of that, but
probably. You know, you guys aren't going to come on barbecue, not going to come on. Well, I didn't know that the barbecue wasn't able to be moved.
I don't know either. So like the next day, he said okay. When I told him let's reschedule for Friday, he said okay.